Okay, so in last week's video, I removed the axles from my Odyssey. They were just getting ready for a trip to go to Dunefest and happened to be taking a look and noticed that one of the axles was completely blown out. So in this week's video, what we're doing is we're getting the axles ready to repair. So to do that, we actually have to cut the axles, or cut the U-joints out. You cannot press them out because the way that they're designed, the ears are not wide enough, so you actually have to cut them out. So it's a very labor-intensive process, not very fun, but that's the proper way to do it.
Oh yeah, the bearings are completely gone out of this. The roller bearings, completely gone.
Completely gone.
Yeah, they should be right there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I wasn't that far away.
yeah, so I would start cutting right there is where the smallest diameter is going to be. Get them
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually there's so much worn away, but yeah, that's
I'll show you how much is worn away.
so. Okay, that's the bear. This is how thick that is right there,
Okay.
and that's all worn away. That's broken out. This part
Oh wow,
right there is all broken out. It's right there.
that's crazy. Okay, so I'm just cutting right, basically just like that, right?
Yeah,
Don't want to hit that. Don't want to hit that.
yeah. Don't
Okay.
look at those.
Cool.
And use your safety glasses.
For sure. Safety glasses, gloves, the whole 9 yards. All part of the gig, I guess.
Hang on one second. Let me just make sure that it's tight there. Yeah, right about there. If you go much more than that, then it just really starts to get wonky on you.
Okay. So the way to cut these, you have to get these little 2-inch discs. I believe there's actually 2.5-inch disc. If you could find a 2.5-inch disc, that would be a lot better. 2-inch is barely large enough in order to be able to cut through this. The problem is as the disc gets used up, it gets a little bit smaller in diameter, so that kind of causes some problems. If you found a 2.5-inch disc that was the same thickness, it would be perfect. You do have to get a special arbor for the Dremel tool in order to be able to use these discs on this. So other than that, it's just a process of just sitting here and cutting, and it takes a really long time to do it. In this video, I try to speed it up as much as possible. So there's going to be some sped up sections and then just some of us talking, discussing what we're actually doing.
I moved to this side now,
Okay.
and it's gonna be tight, but you want to probably start over here so you know that you're continuing on with that same cut, but you want to keep it off this.
Okay.
But I guess you can do it. You can do it. Trying to tack it this way.
No, I don't, right? That's too tall.
That's gonna. Okay, so you got to come to this side.
Oh.
Switch sides
Okay.
to get to.
So one of the challenges is trying to get the right angles on this. With a larger disc, it'd be easier to go kind of right through it. With a shorter disc, you're constantly searching for a better angle. So definitely try and find a 2.5-inch disc. Alright, I apologize the camera's not in focus on what we're doing here, but the camera's on a tripod, so we just didn't move it around very much. What we're doing is we're just trying to figure out how much is left to actually cut through. The grinding wheel is getting smaller and smaller, so it's really hard to get this last little tiny bit. So we're just talking about how we might be able to get through that. So here you can see that I'm starting to make a lot of progress. I've gotten mostly cut through it. The problem is that it's like literally like a 1/16 of an inch of clearance on either side. You don't want to actually end up scuffing or cutting the ears on, or the arms on the axles or anything like that. So that's why it's such a tedious task to do this. This okay.
Okay. So right now.
Yeah, right there.
You're cutting through. Okay, there you go. Okay. I should have moved it around because now you're cutting through the bearings, which are hardened.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, yeah.
Another issue you're going to encounter is the Dremel tool itself is going to get very, very hot. And this Dremel tool, it was older, it's been used quite a bit, and it was kind of underpowered. I highly recommend trying to get a bigger Dremel tool just to make it a little bit easier to cut through. I ended up buying my own for the second set of axles, and it did work a lot better, but it was still tedious and it was still very hot. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this. So one of the things when you're doing this is consider how much effort it actually takes. Being able to watch this video series, if you're actually serious about doing this, this is going to put you way further ahead than I was when I started. Thankfully, Greg had done this multiple times, and he's able to show me the process. But it definitely, it's not an easy job, but it's not really super difficult either. It just is time consuming, and you really got to take your time going through it and making sure you do it correctly. And so highly recommend watching the entire video. Again, it's longer than I'd like it to be, but you got to show the process so you understand exactly what's going on. So with that, with a little bit of preparation time, just about anybody could do it with just a little mechanical skills.
How much is left?
Enough.
Not enough that we can hit it with a chisel.
It almost feels like I should try and come in. Here, you can take a look.
Oh my God, it's like right there. It's just that little bit right there, isn't it? Or does that go? Yeah, it's just that little bit right there.
Just that little bit. Alright, so just a quick explanation here. We ended up getting a chisel, and the only reason we did that is because the grinding wheel had just ground down so much it wasn't just a large enough diameter to actually get all the way through. So typically you would not do this, and we're not putting a lot of pressure on the axle itself, on the ears. What we're doing is just using it to separate that little hair of metal that's actually left. So you'll see we only give it a couple of taps here. Again, if you had a large enough grinding wheel, this wouldn't be necessary. It's just that we were out of grinding wheels, and so we had to resort to this to just get the little bit last separated. What do you got to do now?
Tap these out. You want to hold that?
Yeah. Which side?
This side. You didn't get a Circum PB blaster first, huh?
No. So the next thing we got to do is got to remove the caps. This is something I want to be really gentle with. We're going to use a punch here, and we're just tapping on it really lightly. Again, you want to avoid bending the ears of the axles here. So we're just going to tap on it a little bit, and hopefully that'll get the job done.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to put any pressure on those and bend the ear.
I got to press though.
But that's the issue with the press.
Well, yeah, so you got to support it all around, or?
Yeah. That's how those ears get bent.
Oh, with the press.
Yeah.
Should we soak it and then I just start cutting on the other one and let it wait?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Okay. It's right there here. Doesn't really matter.
I did. That's going to be the thinnest part. If you go right where the black is.
Okay.
Do you need to swap the?
No, it's fine. I was just trying to find it. Alright, so the last step is grinding out the second half of the U-joint here. This is real easy. Just take a regular angle grinder and grind right through. So if you get to this point, you're about halfway through the process.
Yeah, it's grind down a bit.
Oh no, I can go. I just saw a little, I just nicked it a little bit. Okay. Alright, so that kind of brings us to the end of this video at least. In this, I'm just cutting off the second portion of the U-joint. I have about 2.5, maybe 3 hours in this. If you do it again, I could probably do it in maybe an hour and a half. So next week's video, we're going to start showing the cleanup process and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I did try to cut it down and make it as fast as I could, but it's just kind of a time-intensive process, and I want to make sure you guys could see all of it. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we will catch you guys in next week's video where we take on the next part of the challenge.